My name is Billy Gallagher, and I'm a K-State dietetic intern working at the Extension office here in Johnson County. And today I'm going to show you how to make a 5-bean salad. This is a dish that my grandmother personally loved and used at a lot of our holiday events and family gatherings. So I've adapted 5 different beans. You can really use any bean that you like. Wax beans tends to be one of the more popular ones to add into a 5-bean salad, and it's not something you can find at a lot of places. So if you can't find wax beans, you can use more cut grain beans. I always look for things that have no salt added or low sodium, just to kind of keep that salt level a little lower. And if you can't find things that are no salt or low sodium, you can always just rinse your beans really well. I've already pre-rinsed all the canned beans, and we're just going to put them all into a big bowl. So after you've got the beans rinsed, drained, and into your bowl, we're going to add in about a half of an onion, or roughly half a cup of onion. You can cut the onion, dice it, you can slice it, really whatever pieces you like, but a little bit of onion. I like to use a sweet white onion. Some people might use shallots, some people might use a red onion. Really, that's up to you as well, but adding that little bit of flavor and nutrition. And then once that's together, we're gonna make our dressing. So the dressing is very simple. It's going to consist of oil and vinegar. So we're using an olive oil. I'm using a 1/3 cup of olive oil. And then I'm gonna use a 1/3 cup of vinegar. And I'm just gonna pour this right into the measuring cup with the olive oil. I'm using apple cider vinegar. Again, you can use white vinegar, you can use red wine vinegar, but oil and vinegar. And then that's gonna go into a little bowl. And we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of sugar, a little lower than what my grandma used to use, but we're keeping this a little healthier. And then half a teaspoon each of ground celery seeds, black pepper, and garlic powder. Make sure you use the garlic powder. If you use minced garlic or a different type of garlic, it's going to change the amount of garlic flavor. So the ground garlic. And then we're gonna whisk that together really nicely. Make sure we get all of that oil. All right, and then once that is combined, we're just going to pour that over the top of our beans and onions. The sugar should have dissolved in there, and you might want to use a rubber spatula to get all of that out, because there is some residue from the herbs sticking to the side of the bowl there, but that's good for now. And then we're gonna mix that together. And once this is nice and coated, we're going to cover this and keep it in the refrigerator for at least a few hours. Normally overnight is best, but you can do this day of, and I would say 4 to 5 hours in the refrigerator, and then that way that lets that all marinate together. And then you've got all of these nutrient-dense, high-fiber beans to take to your event. Okay, and so now we have a high-fiber, delicious addition to your next family gathering or event, and this is a delicious side dish. It can also be used as a main dish if you are a vegetarian, because you've got protein in there as well as the rest of those nutrients.